Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you, and the Mayor of Lansing, Michigan, my hometown. Mayor Virg Bernero is on the line with us. Mayor, welcome back.
Thanks so much, Tom. How you doing?
I am great, and I hope you are well, too.
I am. It's a little warm, but otherwise great.
Okay. So the Obama administration, this is pretty impressive. The Obama administration says that they're going to start calling out, and in this case, China is the first example, calling out unfair trade practices.
That's phenomenal. I mean, I know they've done some things. They've done it on tires. They've done it on some products. They did it to some extent on the currency manipulation. But I'm glad to hear it. When the Commerce Secretary was in Michigan a few years ago, before he became ambassador to China, I stood up and asked him that question. I mean, it's nice to talk about fair trade. Are we going to, is it going to be a two-way street? I mean, I don't want free trade alone. I want free and fair trade. Yeah. I think we should treat our competitors exactly like they treat our goods.
It sounds like a plan. And this is the opposite of the way that Mitt Romney is approaching this. He's very command and control. Let the banksters run things. Let the big corporations run things.
Absolutely. I mean, they talk free enterprise and capitalism, but it ain't free. I mean, the fact is, you look at China. China today has more direct interest controlling companies than they did 10 and 20 years ago. I think it's up to like 60% of the companies in China are now owned mostly by the government, whereas it used to be down around 30-40%. So they're actually moving in the opposite direction. And so our companies, American companies, are competing against a nation. They're competing against a country. And so we need a new partnership. Carl Levin, our senator here, is talking about a partnership, a public-private partnership. We need to be in the game. We need to support our companies like the president did with the auto industry and save the auto industry.
So, go ahead.
Well, as you know, the president's starting this bus tour tomorrow, this Betting on America bus tour through northern Ohio and western Pennsylvania. This is a president that believes in the middle class, that believes in the productive capacity of the American worker. The question is, will we make anything in this country, Tom? As you know, I mean, we used to be the manufacturing mecca for the world. There wasn't anything we didn't make. Yep. And that's been turned around, and now we have a president who understands that the magic of manufacturing, what I call the magic of manufacturing, because of the spin-off, the supply chain that's involved. In Ohio alone, it's almost 1 million jobs in the auto industry that could have been gone. Poof. We'd be in a depression, not a recession, if the president hadn't stepped in and saved the auto industry. Mitt Romney's made it clear. He said, let them go bankrupt. Yeah. He would have let the private sector be on its own, which means it would have been chopped up into pieces. Who knows? Foreign companies would have owned parts of it. It would be vastly different than where we are today, and which is coming back. Unemployment has gone down the last 10 months in Ohio, and things are looking up in Michigan, and it's built on manufacturing, which I think is a good trend because we all know you got to make things. You got to make things. You can't. I think we've seen in the last few decades, you can't have an economy built on consumerism alone. Great nations have to produce greatly, not just consume greatly.
Oh, Adam Smith, 1776, The Wealth of Nations. The wealth of nations to which he referred was those things that get manufactured. The example being a tree limb on the ground has no intrinsic value. You add human labor to it and turn it into an axe handle. You have now manufactured something. You have produced wealth, which becomes part of the nation's wealth. It's all about manufacturing.
But as you know, Wall Street tried to convince us for the last couple decades that, don't worry about it because we can be, we're an information economy. We're a consumer economy. We're this, we're that. And more power shifted to the finance class, and the finance industry is not an industry at all. I mean, you're there to support what? To support productive activity, to support manufacturing. Instead, they've moved themselves to the center of the economy, and that's what Romney is all about as a vulture capitalist.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is how Romney made $250 million and is sitting on $250 million now. He gave $100 million to his sons. He made this money basically by being a bankster. How can he campaign successfully on that kind of a record? I don't get it.
Well, he needs to be exposed, and again, it's truly we have a clear choice in the election between a guy who made his money, got his, and didn't worry about anybody else. Bain Capital, which was about putting businesses out, offshoring production, explaining to American businesses why they don't need to make things here; they should move it all overseas, and that's no future. You can certainly make money, and many people did. In the short run, you can make money, and as long as you can keep offshoring and outsourcing, the folks at the top can make the money. But the problem is you're eliminating the middle class. And Barack Obama understands that. We've got to rebuild manufacturing. While we still have a manufacturing capacity left in this country, we've got to invest in manufacturing. We've got to compete with other countries. We've got to get in the game. We need an Apollo-style commitment to manufacturing. And I think that's what we're getting from Barack Obama. He and his team now get it. They understand the loss that has occurred over many decades.
Well, and here's the problem.
Now.
I would submit to you, Mayor Bernero, that they got it back when they were putting together the stimulus program. That Jared Bernstein and his other advisors who put that thing together, they got it and they said, okay, we need a couple $1 trillion in stimulus, and we need to be stimulating manufacturing and infrastructure, and building infrastructure is one of the best ways to stimulate manufacturing, because somebody's got to make that steel, somebody's got to make that concrete, somebody's got to make those windows and fill all that stuff, fill in the blanks. And they took it to Congress, and the Republicans in Congress said, no, let's turn this into 1/3 tax cuts, and let's cut it down to $800 billion. And he's always going to face this problem, is he not?
Well, there's no question that Congress has been a hindrance. Absolutely no question that they are a drag. They offer no alternatives, but they're there to slow him down or stop him. From day one after the election, the Republicans in Congress were adamant that Barack Obama was going to be a failure. They would see to it, that they would do whatever it takes. And that, to me, is sick and twisted. And that's a new thing in America that is the ugly partisanship that is developed that is wrong. And I didn't take that approach when George Bush was president. There was a lot I disagreed with him, but after 9/11, I felt we had to be unified. And you don't get that sense at all. And the fact is, we are at war, not just in terrorism, but an economic war, a war for our future. And we've got a president that understands that needs to be one for the middle class. It's not going to be top down, trickle down. We've had enough of that. It's going to grow from the middle out.
Mayor Virg Bernero of Lansing, Michigan, thank you so much for being with us, Mayor.